Welcome back. In this video, we will discuss two most commonly used lookup functions in Excel, the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP function. Let us start with the VLOOKUP function. VLOOKUP is an Excel function to get data from a table organized vertically. So here we have a table where we have the employee IDs, the name of the employees, date of joining, and annual salary. We want to get the data for the employee ID shortlisted. To get the data using the VLOOKUP function, we have to type is equal to VLOOKUP, bracket open. The first thing which Excel asks is the lookup value. It means what you want to look up. So here we are looking for the employee ID, which is 170010, then comma. The second input which we have to give is the table array. It means where do you want Excel to look for this employee ID? So we want to look for this employee ID in this table. So we will select this table. The third input is column or index number. It means which column in the table will give me the employee number. So if we count the columns, the first column is the employee ID and the second column is the employee name. We are looking for the employee name. So we will enter 2. The fourth input is whether we want an exact match or approximate match. So we want an exact match. So we will type false or 0, bracket close, enter. So we get Indiana Jones as the employee name for employee ID 170010. If we go back to the table, the name is correct. We are also looking for the employee salary. So we will again type is equal to VLOOKUP, bracket open. We are looking for employee ID 170010. We are looking up in this table. The column number is the annual salary column number, which is column 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth column in the table. And again, instead of false, if we want the exact match, we can also type 0, enter. So we get the salary, which matches with the salary given in the table. We want to get the similar data for other employees as well. So employee 17002 and 17008. So we can copy and paste this formula. But before copying and pasting this formula, we have to fix the table range. So we will press F4 for the table array and then press enter. To copy and paste this formula to the other cells, we will select the range, press F2 and then press Ctrl and enter. So we get the employee names for other employee IDs as well. Again, we want to copy and paste the annual salary. So before doing that, we need to fix the ranges. So press F4 to fix the range. We can't forget it because it is very important. Then select the range, press F2 and then press Ctrl and enter. So we get the salary for the other employees as well. So for Abhishek M, the salary is 56547, which we have in the table. For Smith Jones, it's 40,003, which matches with the data in the table. So this is how we can use the VLOOKUP function. Now let's move to the second example. Here we have the employee IDs and we are looking for the employee name, the date of joining and the annual salary. And this has to be pulled from a larger table in the other file. So I'll open the table. This is the table with data for 64 employees and we are looking to pull data for 8 or 10 or 12 employees in this table. So one option is we can copy the data, go to employee 170011, copy this data and paste it over here. But this practice may be prone to errors, plus it will be time consuming. So what we can do is use the VLOOKUP function to pull the data in just 30 seconds. So we will type is equal to VLOOKUP. Again, the lookup value is the employee ID, comma, table. We will select the table by pressing Control Shift and down arrow key and then Control Shift and right arrow key. So we have selected the entire table. Then comma, it is asking for the column number, which is column 2 for the employee name. Then press 0 because we want the exact match, enter. So we have the employee name. Similarly, we can copy and paste this formula to the other cells, but before doing that, we need to fix the range. So we see that when we pull the data from other sheets, we see that the array range is already fixed, but what we want to do is fix the column B as well. So we'll press F4, F4 and F4 thrice. So we see that column B is fixed, and as we move down, the cells will move to cell B7 and accordingly to the below cells. To get the date of joining and the annual salary, we can just copy and paste this formula to the other columns and then change the column number in the VLOOKUP formula. So I press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V. Now press F2 and then change the column number to 3 to get the date of joining. So this is coming in the number format now. To get to the date format, what we can do is press Ctrl Shift and 3. So we get the date of joining. Again copy the formula and paste it, then press F2 and then change the column number to 4 to get the annual salary. Now what we can do to move the columns or to copy and paste it to the below cells, we'll press F2 and then Control and Enter key. So we have the employee names. Similarly for date of joining, we again press F2, Control and Enter key to get the date of joining, and for annual salary press F2, Control and Enter. So we have the employee name, date of joining and annual salary, and we can quickly pull the data from other sheets using the VLOOKUP function. Moving to the third example, here we have the same data. In the previous two examples, we had entered the column numbers manually, but in this example, we will automate the column numbers by using the match function. So here we will pull the data by using a combination of VLOOKUP and match function. So to pull the employee data, we will type is equal to VLOOKUP, bracket open. The lookup value is the employee ID, comma, table array is the same. So we will select the entire table. Then the column index number. So in the previous example, we entered it manually as 2, but here to automate it, we can type the match function. So we'll type match. The lookup value is the employee. Now the second entry or the second requirement is where it should look for the employee. So it is in the table headers. Again, we are looking for the exact match. So we'll type 0, bracket close for the match function, then comma, then false or 0 for the VLOOKUP function, and then bracket close and enter. Here we have automated the column numbers. Now we will copy and paste this formula to pull the annual salary, but before doing that, we need to press F2 and fix the ranges. So here we have already fixed the ranges. Now just Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl V to paste. So see, here we pull the annual salary without entering the column number because the match function takes care of the column number. So if we select the match function and then press F9, we get 4, which is the column for the annual salary numbers. So if we don't want to manually input the column numbers, we can use a combination of VLOOKUP and match function to pull the data dynamically. Now moving to the second most used lookup function is the HLOOKUP function. HLOOKUP in Excel is a function to get the data from a table organized horizontally. So that is why it is called the HLOOKUP function, horizontal lookup. It is very similar to the VLOOKUP function. The only difference is that in a VLOOKUP, the column is organized vertically, whereas in HLOOKUP, it is organized horizontally. So to use the HLOOKUP function, we'll type is equal to HLOOKUP, bracket open, lookup value is the employee ID, comma, table, so we'll select the entire table, comma, then it asks for the row number, so row number 2, so we'll type 2 because the second row in the array has the employee name, type 2, and then 0 because we want the exact match, bracket close, enter. So we get the employee name, and we can use the same formula to pull the annual salary. Again we press F2 and fix the ranges by pressing F4. Now copy this formula and paste it, then change the row number to 4, so you get the annual salary. Just as we did a combination of VLOOKUP and match function, similarly we can use the HLOOKUP and match function to avoid entering the row numbers manually. So we will type is equal to HLOOKUP, bracket open, the lookup value is the employee ID, comma, the table array. So we'll select the entire table by pressing Ctrl Shift and right arrow key, then comma. Now it asks for the row index number, so we'll use the match function to type match, comma, the lookup value is the employee, comma, lookup array is the row number or the starting row where we have the headers, comma 0, then close the formula, close the bracket for match function, and then type 0 and close it for the HLOOKUP function. We get an error because the column header is not same as the header in the table. So we can copy the header of the table and then paste it here, so we get the employee name. Similarly for annual salary also, the column headers have to be same, so we pasted it. And now we can just copy this formula, but we need to fix it first. So we'll press F4 to fix everything. Will not fix the match lookup, which is C16. It needs to move to D16, so won't fix that. Now Control C and Control V. So we get the salary without entering the row number. So this is how we can use the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP function. These functions are very helpful to use when we have a huge data set. Thank you.